Michaela, Amanda Camm, Minister for Child Safety, has been missing for 6 days now. It's Thursday. Why is she in hiding? What do you reckon's happened?
Well, Taylor, Amanda Camm has found herself in another child safety mess. It all started with the Career Mail's reports on Saturday that children were sleeping in government offices.
And why? Because I saw that mattresses were obviously being laid out in these offices of child safety staff. So why are children sleeping and why are they being forced to sleep in government?
Well, the government's enacted residential care reform where they've decided to move away from residential care, and they've defunded a lot of these providers that were caring for these children, and the children had to move somewhere. But there were not enough placements for these children, so they ended up sleeping on air mattresses in government offices or on the streets.
So that's just crazy. Why would the government cancel these contracts or cancel providers when they didn't have space on the other side to send children, like other places for them to go?
Well, it's a great question, Taylor, and it's a question that I'd love to ask the Child Safety Minister myself. We had the Commission of Inquiry into Child Safety recently. That report was handed down, but this was not a recommendation by the Commissioner to defund all these providers. He obviously said that there was an over-reliance on residential care, yes, but the Commissioner said that we shouldn't defund all providers. They have their place, especially for emergency accommodation, but now we've ended up in this situation where we actually don't have any proper alternative.
And so where do you think Amanda Camm is then? It's been 6 days, obviously this all came out on Saturday. Do you think she's afraid of answering these questions? She doesn't have the answers. She's obviously instructing her department to do this stuff.
Well, Taylor, the Premier actually stood up on Sunday and Monday and answered some questions, though some questions obviously remain. Amanda Camm hasn't stood up in that time at all. Amanda Camm actually broke her silence on Wednesday through social media. She was meant to be up in Mackay for an infrastructure event with Deputy Premier Jarrod Bleay. Turns out she actually admitted herself into hospital on Tuesday night for chronic migraines. She posted a video on her Facebook explaining that she suffers from chronic migraines, and it's something that she continues to work through, and apologised for her absence in Mackay, but still did not make any reference to the child safety issues that are going on in her portfolio.
That's interesting. Do you think she's avoiding this on purpose? Because we heard Sam O'Connor not long ago also say that she was at Cabinet on Monday. So obviously something's happened. Even if something's happened within that 24-hour period, she's making an effort not to front the press. What do you think about that? Because obviously Chris Foley is very adamant that ministers should be held accountable in his government.
Yeah, that's right, Taylor. And also Amanda Camm was meant to be speaking at a Ageing Australia conference on Monday. And as you said, she was at Cabinet on Monday, according to her own ministerial colleagues. So it seems that she is avoiding the press and answering these questions. Other senior ministers are defending her, though, and saying that the Premier has already answered these questions. But you have frontline officers and the union coming out and refuting everything the Premier has said. So there's definitely questions that remain, and she does need to front the cameras soon.
And how long should we give her, I suppose, as the press gallery? How long is too long until we need to start calling, joining forces and calling for her to actually front a camera?
I would probably say 6 days is already too long. I think if we get to a week, that's definitely when the pressure needs to start building again.
It probably doesn't pass a pub test, I suppose, which is the age-old journalist question. Do you think most Queenslanders will be unhappy about this?
Oh, I'm sure. And I think looking at our comments on our stories and also on our social media posts of this, people are quite mad about this and the stories that are coming out that these children are left on air mattresses in offices.